Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This video is a continuation of our Building Wealth series. We got so many questions, so many comments, so much support from you guys on our first couple videos. So we're keeping it going. This video is gonna be just a question and answer video. We got so many questions from our other videos, so we're just gonna be answering all the questions in this video. I'll probably have to split it to two parts. So if you do not hear an answer to any of your questions in this video, please make sure to check out my future videos. And we'll probably keep doing these question and answer videos in the future anyway. So definitely leave a comment if you have any questions. Leave a comment down below and we will try to get to it. All right, so if you're interested in learning how to build wealth through real estate, just keep on watching. All right, so let's start with the first question. So I have my phone right here because I have all the questions here. First question, what is the first step in getting into real estate? What should I do?
This is a really interesting question because I will have to make a lot of assumptions as to where you are because there are numerous things depending on where you are. I'm assuming you have already good credit, you have access to loans that you can get, you are in a position financially where you can save up the down payments and probably either actively manage or passively manage the properties. So this question is it's a very difficult question to answer because I have to make a lot of assumptions. So let's assume all of the assumptions I just made are correct. I would say one of the first things to do is understand what your budget is. And let's assume you want to buy a $100,000 property. So you need to have at least 20% of that saved. So you need to have at least $20,000 saved up in order to proceed with that purchase. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so next question. Okay, so that question was from Nobility. This next question is from Esquire Tamilore. I'm getting these questions from my Instagram Q&A post that I did on my stories a few weeks ago now. And also I'm pulling some of them from the YouTube comments, just to let you know. So this question is from Esquire Tamilore. It says, what percentage do you have to put down as a down payment on investment properties?
I would say that if you're going to buy 1 to 2 units, you would need at least 20% down if you are not living in them. If you're buying properties 2 and above, you would need at least 25% down if you're not living in one of the units. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a way around that. If you're gonna buy multifamily housing, which I'm talking about 2 and above, and you want to live in one of the units, then you can qualify for an FHA loan, which is under the 1 to 4 unit properties. And with that, you can live in one and rent out the other, if in the case of 3 units, and you will only need to put down 3.5% for that. But you can put down more if you wanted to. Okay,
great. So this next question is from Nini Como. Hi, Tawny, or IBK, because I ain't answering. How do you start real estate business without getting into debt?
You can't. Well, let me back up.
Yeah.
You can if you have boatloads of cash.
Yeah.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
But even with boatloads of cash, I would still recommend using debt to finance real estate because then you are sharing the risk between your cash and the bank's money, reducing your risk profile. Also, it increases the velocity of your money. So the money you have saved up can do a lot more and you can control a larger amount of real estate with the exact same sum as opposed to just buying it all with cash. So to answer your question, the best way to go about buying real estate is through debt.
Yeah. So debt has like a really bad, rap. And I don't know, I guess just going through this whole journey, one thing I've learned is that not all debt is bad.
Yeah.
Okay, debt on a car note kind of thing, or
credit cards.
Yes, that's definitely bad. But debt with respect to real estate, if you're not the one paying down the debt, I don't know, or student loan debt, obviously that's also bad. But like with real estate, things that are like assets or things that are gonna, are also giving you money, especially if they're giving you a profit on that debt per se, it's not like the same level. So try and I guess like rethink how you think about debt when it comes to real estate. Okay.
So just one more thing to add. I usually answer this question to a lot of folks by asking another question. If you could borrow any amount in the world, as much as you wanted, and somebody else will pay back that loan for you, how much would you borrow? And I'll leave you to answer that.
A lot of y'all were asking for like specific numbers and things like that. And I think that's great because I think it's good to give you, as much detail as we can so that you can have a better idea instead of being general. So this question is from that Boma Brown, and they ask, I think it's a girl, ask, what was the cost of your first few properties? How were you able to scale from 1 to 13? Credit score, down payment needed.
Cool. So I'm gonna just select one of the properties we purchased and give you all the numbers and everything to go with that, because I feel like, this is beneficial. So 2018, we purchased a single family house, 2-bed, 1-bath. This house cost, I believe, $86,000, okay? We applied for a loan for this house. At that time, I had a credit score about 756. Keep in mind that above a credit score of 740, there is no difference. So 740 and above to whatever the highest limit is, there is no difference in the treatment. So the way I like to look at it is, if my credit score is way too high, like up in the 800s, I am not using enough of my credit to pull cash to myself. So going from there, I believe we had, because of the house was relatively cheap, and banks and loan companies don't like to service smaller debts because it costs them the same, and it's the same amount of work to service a $86,000 loan as opposed to $1 million loan. So they would rather service the $1 million loan. But in this case, I was able to get the loan on this property, but they required a 25% down payment because the loan amount was so small. I went ahead and paid the 25% with closing costs and everything involved. I believe the total amount put down was about $25,000. Now, this property with the mortgage, taxes, insurance, mortgage comes out to be about $530 a month. And it is being rented for $960 a month. Those are the numbers, and it gives a decent cash flow when you subtract the difference between those two amounts.
So the profit on that one monthly is what?
Whatever 960 minus 530 is.
430?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. What is it again?
Do the calculation on your phone.
Two engineers, I can't do come on my. What? So you said 960 minus
530.
530. 430. Is that what I said?
If you look at the return on investment, multiply that by 12, please.
5,160.
Yeah. So if you look at the return on investment, the total cash out of pocket put down was about $25,000. We are going to be cash flowing about $5,000 a year. So in about 5 years, you're going to make all your money back in cash flow, excluding the principal pay down that the tenant has been taking care of during the 5 years, and excluding the tax benefits that you get from owning an investment real estate property with that. So yes, the returns, those are the numbers for that particular investment, and it's quite similar and, hopefully better with the other ones after that.
This is from Smoking Lala. Did you actually pay cash for all of your investment properties, or you financed them? So we finance.
Always finance, never cash. Even if you have the cash, don't do it.
So that's his belief. I mean, like some people, I want to be careful of not like saying things are like Bible. Just say my opinion.
Yes, that's true. In my opinion, I believe that because for people who follow like Dave Ramsey and all the other guys who think zero debt is the best way and do not get into debt, perfectly fine. In my opinion, I believe to get higher returns on your investment and to hedge against inflation and to shift risk over to the bank as well and not have all your cash locked down, I believe going with financing is the best option.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
Do I need to, this is from Miss B. Benny. Do I need to find a real estate agent to start?
I believe that is the best option, especially if you do not have any experience in the business. And when it comes to real estate agents, they're not all equal. There are real estate agents who are great with finding you your dream home to live in. And those people do not necessarily work well with finding you your investment properties because the criteria to look at each one is different. So you need to find one who probably has some experience in investment properties and can provide you some insight and some of the pitfalls you could look for when you're looking for your first investment.
Great. All right. So the next question is, how do I start with little to no money?
I think this is a very
And this is from Sita Loves.
This is a very interesting question because starting with no money is not real estate investment, because I see people sell this, oh, invest in real estate with no money. Not to shift or remove anything from the credibility of those people, I am just going to speak to my experience. I believe that there is very little way to make or invest in real estate. Their options are very limited if you do not want to pay anything out of your pocket, because you might be able to negotiate a deal where you do the legwork in a partnership with somebody. They invest the cash and you invest legwork, and so you get equity in the deal based on the sweat and work you provide into that deal. But somebody needs to give cash. Now, is the question is it going to be my cash, or am I partnering with somebody that has the cash? I have the time and we both work together to get there. That's perfectly fine. And that's the one way I can see you investing in real estate with like little money. On the other hand, the other aspect you can do this is to buy run down, dilapidated properties, pay dimes on the dollar for that property, borrow the money from a lender to fix it up. When you get a final product, you can refinance out of that based on the new appraised value of that property and repay the lender, and now you have an investment with, you know, little money down. That's the other way I can do it. But in that regard, typically the lender will want you to have some skin in the game too, so you have to put money in some regard to that. So I tend to discourage people from thinking that they can do something without putting any of their own skin in the game. It's really, I'm not saying it's not possible, but in my experience, I find out that you need to have some kind of skin in the game.
Okay. So this question, again, this is another, specific. A lot of these questions, especially these first couple questions, are about like how much money. So I'm hoping that with giving y'all examples and just talking about the percentages and stuff, y'all realize like, the exact amount that you're, that you need to invest in a property. Again, it's a lot of times it's like percentage, right? Like you said, 20% or 25%. So, I mean, luckily we live in Texas or in Houston, so we have an idea of what houses around this area, specific areas cost. So if you're living in another area, it might be higher, it might be lower. So that's why we're kind of using like percentages and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so this question is from Adoma A. She asks, how much was your first investment property?
The first one we got was a townhome close to the downtown area of Houston.
It's downtown.
And it cost $296,000.
And for that one, it was 20%
Yep.
that we did. And that is probably the most expensive one. That is,
Yeah.
no, it's not. Well, it's the most expensive, it's the most expensive single family unit that we got. And just to clarify again, so that property, that one we bought, it was our first investment property, and I don't know if we mentioned in our older videos, but that one we bought that one for appreciation, not necessarily for cash flow. So there is a difference, and we'll go into that probably in more detail in another video, because that's like one of the first questions that you need to ask yourself when you're going into like real estate investing. Are you doing it for appreciation, or are you doing it for that cash flow? But we'll go into that in another video. So that one was for appreciation. Every other one that we've gotten since then has been for cash flow. Just keep that in mind. Okay, so the next question is from Desheld. She asks, is it worth it? When do you start seeing benefits?
Yes, and immediately. I think for me, if it wasn't worth it, we wouldn't keep accumulating properties. We have definitely seen increases in you see an increase in your net worth from day one. As soon as you put a tenant in there and they pay off a mortgage for the value of a house that you're not paying out of pocket for yourself, you see the effect immediately, and your net worth continues to grow constantly after that. So yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this next question is actually from YouTube. This is from Mariam Abbas. She asks, which do you prefer, flipping versus holding and renting? Please also speak about the financial process of both and what loans are available, because investment properties usually have a higher down payment percentage.
Yes, yes, yes. So I've done a flip before, and I would say it's stress. And my preference is the buy and hold strategy, because even if we do renovations, it's to turn them into rentals anyway. We're not at the phase where we're thinking about selling any of our properties right now. So when it comes to the financial process for doing rehabs, I think what you typically have is you go to either a private money or hard money lender. The reasons why you need to go to these people as opposed to regular banks is because banks do not finance housing that is inhabitable. So these hard money lenders would go ahead and screen the property you're telling them you want to buy, do an assessment on the probable appraised value of the property after you have it fixed up based on what you tell them you're going to do, probably do a screening on your contractor too if this is your first time working with them, and then provide you loans to go ahead and maybe some of the purchase and the rehab costs of what you're going to buy. Now, the loans from these private money or hard money lenders are usually more expensive, and you're talking about interest rates between 10 to 14%, and these are compounded daily. So that's why you see a crunch on time to finish these rehabs as quickly as possible, so you can have a habitable property that you can refinance into a more long-term loan with the banks, where you get lower interest rates that you can hold for longer. I know that was a really, really condensed version, but this is another topic we can go more into detail later.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's all the questions that we're going to do for this video. We're going to sit right here and record some more questions because I don't want this video to be too long. So if you have any more questions, please leave them down in the comments below, and we'll try to get to all of them. If not answering them directly, we'll try and do a video and answer them as soon as we can. All right, guys, so if you're not subscribed and you want to make sure that you are getting notifications whenever we release a new video specifically on this topic, make sure you're subscribed, and make sure you turn your notifications on so that you can get updates on when I upload new videos. Also, another thing I forgot to mention in my other videos is follow IBK. Follow him. Please ask him the damn questions. I'm just kidding. Follow him on Instagram. I actually left his Instagram handle and all that stuff in the description box on the other videos, but I'll link them down below. Follow his real realtor page, IBK Realty, and that's on Instagram. I'm trying to get him to start up his website again. He used to do like he used to have a website where he would like post like really informative articles that he would write himself about how to get into real estate, but
Yeah.
he kind of stopped doing that. But anyways, another thing we're going to be working on is a class, of course, because we got a lot of feedback that some of y'all would like some more in-depth information, as well as like some counseling and coaching and mentorship. So
I don't do counseling. No. It's just coaching and mentorship.
Okay, so some coaching and mentorship with this. So we're working on a class for that. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Thank you all for all the support so far, and I guess we'll see y'all in the next one, which will be pretty soon.
Peace out.
Bye.